Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to discuss about how aerosol formation helps brighten clouds and balance climate. So we'll discuss this topic in detail. For my video updates and queries, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a difference. Now see, this is flat 70% off. This is the biggest sale of StudyIQ, big Diwali sale. It is valid till 30th October 2019. If you need to buy any of these courses, you'll get flat 70% off on all our pen drive and Android courses. For additional information, you can call us on our numbers or you can visit our website too. So now, what is the relevance of this topic in your exam? It will be covered under mains paper 1, climatic change at objective level. You should know about aerosols, subjective level, role of aerosols in maintaining Earth's temperature. So in what context today we are studying this? See, the small aerosol particles, they help in brightening or what we call is whitening of clouds, which enable them to alter Earth's radiative balance and ultimately its climate according to a study. Now talking about what is aerosol. See, aerosol is basically a suspension. It is a suspension of fine solid particles or liquid droplets in air or another gas. Aerosols, they can be natural or they can be anthropogenic. So if we talk about natural aerosols, they are like fog, dust, then forest exudates, then you can note down geyser steam. These are your natural aerosols. And then coming to your artificial aerosols or what we call is anthropogenic, that is man-made aerosols, are haze, particulate air pollutants, and then your smoke also. So aerosols are minute particles suspended in the atmosphere. When these particles are sufficiently large, we notice their presence as they scatter and absorb the sunlight. So their scattering of sunlight can reduce visibility, what I told you is as haze, and redden sunrises and sunsets. So these aerosols are very short-lived, unlike the greenhouse gases that persist and accumulate in the atmosphere for the longer period. Now, how they are formed? Formation in atmosphere. So this is like when the deep and the clouds which are connective, they are over the tropics, they carry a lot of gases high into the atmosphere. They form the small aerosol particles in this whole process. So you can call it as gas to particle conversion. Then the process of condensation take place. These particles, they grow big enough to brighten lower level cloud in the lower troposphere, and this conversion, gas to particle conversion, they whitens the cloud, brightens the clouds in the or over the tropics of both the Pacific and Atlantic oceans. Now what is their significance? Okay, before that you can just see the process here. You are burning the biomass, emissions from the power plants contain aerosols. So aerosol serves as seed for the cloud formation. Lighter aerosols, they reflect the light. So these as the sunlight is coming, so these lighter aerosols, they reflect the light also. Darker aerosols, they absorb and re-emit the light, right? So this is how the process takes place in the atmosphere. Now what is their significance? Why are they significant? Because these brighter clouds reflect more energy from the sun back to the space, and further the formation of new particle covers about 40% of the Earth's surface, which means some of the current climate models underestimate the cooling impact of the some clouds. So let me explain you here. So see these thin clouds, these are very thin, so sunlight can pass through them, and Earth, as you know, it's warming up, global warming is taking place. So aerosols, they make the clouds brighter and thicker, so they can reflect the light back into the space. So this is the brighter aerosol cloud, brighter cloud, brighter cloud, but this is not much a brighter cloud. So now you understand how it helps to give a cooling effect on the people on the Earth in the atmosphere. This is how the brightening of clouds help cooling down the atmosphere. So, understanding how these particles form and contribute to cloud properties in the tropics will actually help us better represent clouds in climate models and improve those models. So, the study showed that in remote places with cleaner air, the effect of aerosol particle formation on clouds was found to be much larger. Because earlier, there are a lot of researchers who have come up to the conclusion that aerosols may be weakening the Indian monsoon. However, this is very true, even more than the greenhouse gases, because monsoon winds and circulation are weakened as both land and sea cool due to the aerosol accumulation. So this is what aerosol is doing. Aerosol accumulation is cooling the atmosphere. So here I'll explain you one more thing, that is about the cloud formation. So aerosols are also believed to have an indirect effect on climate by changing the properties of clouds. Had there been no aerosols, particle acting as seeds, so you need to understand this, had there been no aerosols, there would have been no clouds. So it is very difficult to form cloud droplets without small aerosol particles acting as seeds to start the formation of cloud droplets. So an aerosol concentration, it increases within a cloud. The water in the cloud gets spread over many more particles, each of which is correspondingly smaller. Smaller particles fall more slowly in the atmosphere and decrease the amount of rainfall. So in this way, changing aerosols in the atmosphere can change the frequency of cloud occurrence, cloud thickness and rainfall amounts. So now let's talk about cloud whitening. Anyway, it is the same thing known as brightening, because cloud whitening, also known as cloud brightening or marine cloud brightening, this is an untested geoengineering technique which is designed to increase the reflectance of Earth's cloud cover to reduce the amount of incoming solar radiation striking the Earth's surface. So this technique would rely upon towering spraying devices, places on land and mountain on ocean going vessels. So this is all the artificial method. So these devices would expel a mist of pressurized seawater droplets and dissolve salts to altitudes up to 300 meters, that is around 1000 feet. So as the water droplets evaporate, bright salt crystals would remain to reflect incoming solar radiation. It is thought that these crystals would also serve as condensation nuclei and form new water droplets, so which in turn would increase overall marine cloud coverage, reflecting even more incoming solar radiation into the space. So there's one more technique which is known as stratospheric aerosol injection. So before coming to it, talking about marine cloud brightening, it is proposed solar radiation management climate engineering. So along with stratospheric aerosol injection, it is one of the two solar radiation management method. So the basic thing is the ability of stratospheric sulfate aerosols to create global dimming effect that has made them a possible candidate, the aerosols, for use in solar radiation management climate engineering. So ultimately what we are doing, we are countering the global warming, and we think aerosols are the most suitable candidates for the same. Because there are certain, this is all the artificial techniques, right? But what study I told you was about, they have found a similar natural system in the atmosphere. So there are many arguments for the techniques, like it mimics the natural process that we initially talked about. Technological feasibility is there. If we talk about the cost, numerous studies have concluded that this would cost less than many other interventions. Efficacy, most proposed solar radiation management techniques can only provide a limited intervention in the climate. One cannot reduce the temperature by more than a certain amount with each technique. So research has suggested that this technique may have high radiative forcing potential. So this is all about this technique and the natural process of aerosols cooling the atmosphere taking place. We need to study, have more research studies over this, but this is how it is. Thank you so much. So this is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for UPSC or any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are available. If you're preparing for UPSC CSE 2020, our pen drive course is available, where you can find 100% coverage of UPSC vast syllabus. Daily current affair updates will be available. Self-paced learning process is provided. This course has been prepared by top faculties of StudyIQ, and now you can purchase this course at Rs 625 per month only. For additional information, you can visit our site, and there are the phone numbers also given. You can call them and gain the additional information. You can connect with me for my video updates on Instagram and Facebook, because I feel together we can make a huge difference. For queries, you can even email me. Thank you so much.